We're really getting this all recorded.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want?
Yeah, we might just go. So if you haven't already tuned in with us, this is Adrienne, the Yoni Nutritionist. I'm Kristen from Yonilicious. Hello, everyone on that side of the camera. And we have been in such a beautiful space of co-creation in Bali. And yeah, uniting our wisdom and really wanting to share this and empower as many women as possible in their relationship with their yoni. So we're going to talk today about lubrication, and so we're going to get the nutritionist perspective, and then we'll get my perspective, which is more of the sexologist-based perspective, and then we'll open it up to discuss with each other.
And we're excited because this is our first official video of many to come. We're going to do this every Sunday. Mm-hmm. So have a live interactive video with questions and Q&A. So we're really excited to do that. I don't know if anybody saw our chocolate making video that we did a couple weeks ago, which was like...
It was fun.
It was so fun, but we really fucked it up.
Yeah, we did. We messed up a few things.
But it was so fun, and that kind of gave us the inspiration to start doing this on a regular basis, because it just benefits all of us when we all know about the health of our yonis and how we can heal our yonis naturally. So that's kind of the goal, and we'll be talking about different topics every week, and we're excited to share our knowledge, and we're excited to co-create with something that's near and dear to our hearts and share our knowledge with you.
Yeah!
Yes!
So, do you want to start?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Sure.
Cool.
So, I am the Yoni Nutritionist. Hello, everybody. My name is Adrienne, and I'm going to talk about the kind of like the natural ways we can heal our yonis as well as lubricate our yonis through diet and sort of like mindset. So, I guess I have a page of notes because, just trying not to like read it as I'm talking, but also just there's a lot to cover because it's very important. I mean, it's an important topic. Who doesn't like a wet vagina? I mean, kind of benefits everyone, right?
Totally.
Men and women.
It's something that's not really talked about so much, and instead, we're kind of just, there's shame surrounding not being wet enough, there's shame surrounding being super, super wet, so it's like, it's a topic where there is shame and stigma, and so it's something that's one of the reasons why I want to bring it to the light, and and there's so many useful tools that we don't realize that we have just in our cupboard. Exactly. Or on an Instagram live.
Yeah. There's a lot of natural ways we can kind of juice up what's going on down there. Totally. So let me share that a little bit with you from a nutritional perspective. So when our vaginas are dry, it can be attributed to a couple of different things. It could be poor diet and poor habits, smoking, for example, excess alcohol, excess caffeine. It can be hormone imbalances is probably the biggest one and the most important one. But also stress and anxiety. Like stress just has so many negative things that happens to the body when we're stressed out. So negative consequences. Poor gut health as well. And things like medications and really heavily scented beauty products can all affect the pH of our vagina from the inside, which causes it to not be as wet or as lubricated as it normally should be. So what we want to look in foods is we want to make sure that we're choosing foods that, and most of us don't know this off by heart, but that's why I'm here to help educate you. But what we want to find in foods is we want to find foods that stimulate our blood circulation, because when our blood circulation is stimulated, the blood flow starts going to the vagina naturally. We also want to find ways to strengthen the vaginal walls and the muscles in the vagina. And we want to balance out our hormones, particularly our estrogen levels. And we want to promote good gut health. So that's also really important as well, because whatever is happening in your gut affects your yoni. So some of the foods that are important to eat for a nicely lubricated vagina are good fats. So that's one of the most important things. It has a positive effect on our libido because it does help strengthen our vaginal walls, and it boosts our sex hormones. So, for example, avocados are really great because they contain vitamins B6 and potassium, which is super important to support healthy vaginal walls. And omega-3 fatty acids is the second one, and those can be found in salmon, in eggs, in flax seeds, flax oil, walnuts, stuff like that. So avocados and omega-3 fatty acids are the good fats that we should be including in our diet, which helps support a nice and juicy vagina.
Yay!
The next one are dark greens. So dark leafy greens, particularly like spinach and kale and Swiss chard if it's available to you, because they promote blood circulation. So what else? The darker the green, the better. Mm-hmm. So get those leafy greens into you as well. Green juice, awesome.
That kind of like also touches on our chocolate making video where you talked about like the cacao and how it helps with blood flow to that region. So I guess that could help as well.
Yeah, cacao is also good. Dark chocolate is always good because it does help circulate blood flow, particularly to the sex organs. So that's also really important. Foods containing phytoestrogens to help balance out those hormones, but that are minimally processed. So, for example, soy products. Minimally processed soy products are good. So, for example...
So that would be if the estrogen was low.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
for post-menopause.
Yeah. Yeah. And also during our monthly cycles, mm-hmm. when the hormones are kind of off balance. Mm-hmm. So that includes like soy, tempeh, what else have I got? Edamame and miso. But you just want to make sure that they're minimally processed because a lot of soy products are very processed and those aren't good for us. So we just want to be conscious about the choices that we're making when we're choosing the soy products that we're eating. And probiotics is the next most important one as well. So you want to make sure that you've got a nice healthy gut, and probiotics really help the gut flora, as well as things like sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir. And the number one, I think, most important thing is to stay hydrated.
Totally.
Has anyone ever seen that meme? It says like, stay hydrated, you beautiful but dehydrated capable bitch, or something like that.
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, hydration is the most important thing. That's what's going to help keep our vagina nice and moist.
Nice.
Hydrated. What were you going to say?
Yeah, I was going to say, so I know for some sisters that are suffering from estrogen dominance, it can be important to sort of steer clear of the estrogen building foods, because like soy and soy milk, for example. And so it's like it is a good idea to get your hormone levels tested with a saliva test, just so you know exactly where you sit on the scale and if that's actually your problem or not. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then there's other ways. Obviously, we'll probably go into hormone stuff in another live when we can dive deeper.
Yeah, because that's a whole nother world.
Yeah,
that's
hugely, but definitely for sisters that are going through menopause, because you get that huge drop in estrogen. But yeah, again, like you said, in the cycle when we bleed, our estrogen drops.
Yeah. Foods to avoid are also really important to highlight, I think. We want to avoid any allergy or inflammatory foods. So, for example, we want to avoid gluten and dairy. Mm-hmm. So those are what causes inflammation in the body. So we really want to avoid those foods mm-hmm. at all times, not just if we're struggling with vaginal lubrication. Just avoid that at all time, because our yoni does not like those foods. No. Sugar is like the worst thing ever. for our yonis because it just causes so many issues, and it throws our hormones off balance, and it affects our gut. It affects all of the nice bacteria that's living in our gut that helps keep us healthy. So really trying to eliminate and or avoid the sugar if you can. Start really cutting down, read the labels, be super aware of how much sugar you're consuming. And yeah, I think that's...
So like refined sugar or just all sugar in general?
I mean, I always say this, refined sugar, yes, but I always say sugar is sugar. Like, if you're eating a lot of fruit, it's still sugar, you know? So really trying to be mindful, balanced.
Especially if you might have like candida overgrowth or more issues than other sisters, and maybe it's best to like really keep it down, whereas if you're not finding that problem, maybe you can have a bit more fruit.
Totally, because for me, like, I struggle with candida, so I can't eat a lot of fruit, but if I do eat fruit, I try to choose fruits that are lower on the GI index scale, which is like the GI index measures how much sugar is in a food, so I try to choose the fruits that are lower in sugar, just from that. So
Cool.
Sugar.
We'll probably go real deep into candida on another
deep.
subject. Another
Pun
day.
intended. Get it? Sorry, I'd like to add a little bit of
So good.
sauciness into our chat. But yes, that's another topic. Sugar, candida, we'll go there another time.
Nice.
Hormones, like,
Another
just
day.
stay away from the sugar. And the processed foods, the inflammatory foods, they're just really bad for us in general. So it's especially bad for our yonis. But in particular, you also want to just like, you can do Kegel exercises as well. Like when you're sitting here, like I can just throw out a couple of Kegel exercises right now, and you know, just that helps strengthen the vaginal walls as well. And you can also use natural lubrications like coconut oil, which we'll talk about more. But stay hydrated, eat the good fats, the dark leafy greens, the phytoestrogens, stay away from all the crap, and your yoni will be happy and healthy and nice and juicy. Who doesn't like that?
So good.
That's it for me.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So, I'm going to talk a little bit into sisters that generally have a warmer yoni inside. So it's not really common knowledge, but some sisters are actually naturally cooler inside the yoni, and some sisters are super, super hot. And generally the sisters that are super hot inside don't have as much lubrication. So I know some women, for example, when they are walking in the street, if they were to go without any underwear and like a skirt or whatever, they would have nectar running down their legs. Whereas I totally don't understand that. I can't even imagine that because I have a really hot yoni inside. And so I'm more drier. I mean, when I'm extremely excited, then I can get really, really wet. And I mean, I do always. And then, however, when I go into penetrative sex, that friction causes my lubrication to dry up. And it wasn't until I understood that about my yoni that I fully accepted that part of myself. You know, there was a lot of, I'd have experiences with lovers where I'd be wet upon arousal, and then we would make love, and halfway through I'd be like, oh, I need a bit of lubricant, and they would feel like I wasn't enjoying the lovemaking session, when in fact I was like fully engorged and super, super aroused. And it wasn't until I learned that I just have a different yoni type that I accepted this part of myself and my sexuality. And, you know, there's also arousal non-concordance, which we'll probably go deeply into another day, but this can happen where you're feeling really aroused, and but you aren't experiencing the physical sensations or the physical reactions to arousal. So that's another topic. So we've already gone into hydration. Now we're going to lube. So lubrication is just so beautiful to have in the bedroom in general. Like, you know, ideally we would wait until we're fully aroused before penetration anyway, which can take some time, and sometimes we just want to have a quickie, and lubrication helps with that. And it can, I mean, for me it's super fun, just like, you know, using like just head popping with my lover's lingam when I'm getting aroused initially, and I'm not already wet then. So that is a time where we would just like sensuously put a little bit of lubrication on and begin our foreplay, or this aspect of our sexual encounter. And so for me, I often used cold pressed coconut oil until I had an experience where the pH of my yoni completely changed, and now I'm more inclined to want to use different types of oils. Just because coconut oil is antifungal, and because we have a certain bacteria and pH and environment going on in our yoni, if the coconut oil changes that too much, it can flip it, and I ended up getting BV from it. So,
what is BV?
Yeah, you tell.
So BV is bacterial vaginosis, which is an infection in the vagina. So it's caused by a change of pH, and usually it can be cleared out by antibiotics, but a nice natural way of treating that is with apple cider vinegar, and
which is what I did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it worked like that. So yeah, that's so that is, I mean, it was fine up until that point. It's interesting though, because I make a yoni oil, and I used to use coconut oil, and I actually just intuitively changed it to almond oil, and I'm happy that I did that now. So, but you can.
Is that working? That's working?
Yeah, I don't have it on me actually, but I was selling it at home and I was using it at home, and it was really beautiful.
Oh, that's good.
And